The Tom London Show is brought to you by Suzuki Kyalami, the home of happy customers. It's 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. I'm Tom London. Thank you for joining me on Facebook Live. You can also watch the show on YouTube Live. Maybe you're joining on YouTube. It's good to have you with us. When I say us, we got our Chinas with us. Down in Sodwana Bay, representing KZN and the salty ocean on the east coast of South Africa, the one and only Tonya from Acumen Media. And the crowds go wild for Alistair Jameson, representing Primrose Mountain in Germiston. Hello. There we go. Hello, hello. And me here in Weltevreden Park, capital of the West Rand in South Africa, planet Earth. And there's my intro. That's it.
Not a bad intro.
Thank you. Hello, it's nice for you to join us, whether you're joining us live, which some people prefer, and other people prefer to watch later so that you can't see that they're watching, and then they kookaloo. So you might be kookalooing. That's cool. Come and kookaloo. We don't mind. Come and look at my life. If you want. Oh, man, there's lots of stuff happening. I've been in a bad mood for about 3 days, I think.
You have been in
maybe
a bad
4 days. I was asked Tonya, you don't know this, but I just lay in bed from Friday to Monday morning. There was something wrong. I just didn't feel right. Not physically, emotionally. I know as a man we shouldn't admit this, but as a human being, I just didn't feel emotionally right. And I would normally comfort eat a whole tub of vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce, but I'm going to explode. So I thought I can't do that, and that made it even worse.
Oh, that's the worst. No pasta, no rice.
No, I had rice, but and then yesterday I found out that Caitlin Mickelson passed away, the 24-year-old that we spoke about on the show, and we did get messages through to the drug company that manufactured the drug that maybe could have saved her life, and that news just floored me yesterday.
That was Merck, wasn't it?
Yeah, it floored me. It floored me yesterday, and people have said, and I understand, because I run through all of this in my own mind. I know that someone could be really far gone, and maybe there's no chance, and sometimes there's a 1% chance, and then I think, okay, if it's me or like someone my age or older, well, I've lived half a century, it's okay, But someone who's in their 20s or a teen, you think, try and give that person if there's a 1% chance, it would be nice if we lived in a world where you could just naturally take that 1% chance or whatever that small chance is. And I feel bad. I feel the whole day yesterday and today, I felt, and it's a weird feeling, and I spoke to some people that are working charities last night, and they said, this is what we deal with every day. And I went, wow, I didn't know that, that you just can't help everyone. And sometimes there's a failure and you just couldn't get it right, and bang, that's it. And I'm starting to feel that, and it just made me so sad, sad about her passing, and knowing that although that was a long shot, we didn't even give her the shot, And I think I failed. And I don't say that like, oh, I'm a failure. Everyone must feel bad and sorry for me and tell me, no, Tom, you're not a failure. I'm really saying this on an intellectual level. I think I failed, and I think we failed. I think one day, hopefully in my lifetime, I'll live in a country and a society and a world where a 24-year-old who's got a small chance at survival with a fantastic drug just gets it somehow without it being impossible. And at the same time, I'm thinking of Jenna Lee down in the south coast of KZN, and her family, and me, and you, and our followers all waiting now, because we've I submitted all of her documents, all the CAT scans, the x-rays, the doctor reports, pictures, you name it. Jennifer and Jimmy gave me last week, I think it was Friday or Thursday or whatever. And I then submitted it to a private hospital that I'm hoping and praying will say, we're going to help you, Jenna Lee. But it's the waiting and the sitting and the waiting to hear whether they're going to they're going to help us, or they can do it at a good price, or they can't help us, or the waiting is killing me. And I mean,
It's torturous.
yeah, and I was chatting to Jennifer and Jimmy a little earlier, and they were, "How are you, Tom?" And I told them, and they was like, so you sound down. And I didn't want to, I didn't even reply. I was like, "Yeah, I am down. I don't mean to be negative, but there's some times where, especially after Caitlin's passing, and now we wait, and there just sometimes, and it's like, okay, this isn't fun. You know, now I understand why burying your head in the sand is easier."
Yes.
And it is. Burying your head in the sand when it comes to the problems we got in South Africa and the world and our lives, burying your head in the sand is much easier than confronting it because it hurts, you know? Yeah, Alistair.
Literally.
That came out of this last couple of days.
What's that?
Young Damien got a good report on his...
Well, there's some good news, yes,
muscle
and thanks for bringing it up, because Damien has been back for his checkup. And the news is good. The infection is down, and I guess they'll start operating on some of the bones that are broken in the future. But you're right. There's a silver lining on a cloud. Damien,
for sure.
over on the East Strand, is doing well. That's nice. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I was chatting to...
That was good news.
Well, that's good news. There we go. We got some good news. I was chatting to Tonya last night. We were talking about, well, it's always the same conversation. What are we going to do on the show? And by the way, I was chatting to Stan Katz a little earlier on today. And he said to me, he said, "Hi, Tom." He said, your show's good. I said, "Is it?" He said, "Yeah,
Really?
the team is working." He said, "The team is working." And I thought, wow, that's Stan Katz. That's the guy, you know, he oversaw the Rude Awakening show, John Robbie, John Burks, you name it, all the legends in radio. Stan was the Makulu boss back then. So for Stan to say that this is a good team, I was like, that made me feel a little happier. Eh?
That's high
If
praise.
Stan gives the stamp of approval, well,
It's the Stan of
we to
approval.
not
Yeah.
receive it.
So there we go. That made me a bit
Stan of
happier.
approval.
Yeah, that made me a bit happier. That made me a
Tommy,
bit
I'm sorry
happier.
you're not feeling. I'm sorry that you're feeling
But
low, man. I get it.
I think
I
we
get
all
it.
get
And-
it, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we all get it. But I mean, it's particularly hard for you because you're trying to win this enormous mountain of a climb against.
And also, Tonya, I've got to be honest.
bureaucracy, really.
Yeah, when you talk about bureaucracy in the system, I know that it's against us. When I say against us, it's supposed to work seamlessly for us.
I know.
But then sometimes it doesn't. And then when you pop your head up and say you're not working for us, then you become the enemy or an activist or whatever they want to call you.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, radical.
Yeah, and I don't feel like one. I don't wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, let's burn stuff." You know, that's not me. I'm a kumbaya kind of guy. So my nerves are shot. We've got the ombudsman.
Well, we definitely not.
Yeah.
We're definitely not like that because, I mean, there's been people in Bloemfontein just about burning down the major stadium there a couple of days ago. It's all over the country. We're not like that. We're not standing outside hospitals going, "Yeah, we're going to..." Hey?
Who's we, Alistair? Who's we?
Who's we? Us. It's the Tom London show. We.
Well, I mean, well, I think there is a point there, and that is that we try and do things with a bit of love and care and kindness. But Tonya's finished. Tonya waits for Alistair's moments every show. Was that it?
I call them Alistairisms, and I think we should have a ding, a bell that goes off when Alistair drops one.
Later on when I come up with some more.
There we go. So I don't even know what I was talking about. I got no clue. I can't remember. You guys have done me in. Let's go to the comments.
You guys, I didn't do anything.
I'm sitting here all innocent. Anita Maynard says, "Hi, Tom." Anita says, "Must be those waffles." Helen says, "Hello, everyone." Anita, Lynn Robertson's on board. Janine, how do you say that name? Aspden. 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 Charmaine Bronkhorst is on board. Margaret Guider says, "You're allowed to feel emotionally unwell even as a man."
Shame.
I know. Well, you don't know me. I really go to town. Like some men get man flu, I get emotional flu. It's very typical to undertake the charity. It is sad. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. The Ombudsman report comes out next week, and I know some of it's going to be for me and some of it's going to be against me. They're going to say some stuff that, Tom couldn't prove this, couldn't prove that. I'm sure that's going to happen. And I'm already like, I don't want to go. And Tonya keeps saying, you have to go. And I'm like, I don't want to. I'm finished with these people.
Guys, listen, you've got to stand behind Tom London. That Ombudsman report is out on the 10th of March, is it, Tom?
Yeah, next Monday, I think it is.
Keep your television station tuned. For sure, it's going to be a big presser, and we need to stand by our friend while he has done the right thing. And I believe the Ombudsman will do the right thing as well. So
there we go.
Fingers crossed that Tom made a difference. And you made it, all of us.
He was. Deborah Rotenbach says, hi from Brisbane. Nice for you to join us all the way from Australia. Thank you.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. Emily Hudson says, love to see your beautiful faces again. Mandy Pelka says, hi from Germany. Wow. Germany is on board. Kalele says, have you guys done introductions yet? Who's who in the zoo? Oh, we've got new viewers who don't know who we are. Okay, well, I'm Tom. I'm the chief instigator. There's Alistair. He says the wrong thing at the wrong time. That's his speciality. He will come up with one just now. And here and you might misinterpret what he says. You have to wait for him to finish before you get it. And then there's Tonya down in KZN. And Tonya is, she's a business lady. There we go.
And a diver.
And a diver. She likes to dive under the ocean and swim with the fishes. Lady Go Diver.
Lady.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
all right.
Me.
Yeah, a drum roll. There's a drum roll for Alistair.
Yeah. There we go.
Alex B says we're about to talk about the Ombudsman talk. That's right. Okay. So I think I've addressed it. Next Monday, it's going to come out. I think it's going to be a mix for me, but I think for the country, it's going to be a good thing. That's all I'm prepared to say right now. Ronald Gerard says, cheer up. You know what? A message like that, sometimes that's all you need. Cheer up. Cheer up. Don't you think? Sometimes that's like a sweet kick up the backside. Yeah. A soft, gentle kick up the arse. Cheer up. I like that. Thank you, Ronald. Right. Alex says, I have to go. You see, we all stand by. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Lorraine Lebot, I think that's how you pronounce it, says, hi from Perth, Australia. What's going on? We got Australians on board?
Wow. G'day.
G'day. I love Australia. I chatting to my uncle in Australia the other day. He was in a caravan park just, I think, north of Sydney or Brisbane or something, and it looked like Murray Park in Springs. It was very similar. The blue gum trees and the surroundings. I thought, wow, very, very similar. Hey, Helen says, can Alistair fix his sound so he's clear like you and Tonya? Oh, shame. Alistair.
If she only knew what we've been through.
So in Alistair's defense and Tonya's defense, we've had meetings about this, trying to figure out how to improve the sound for both Tonya and Alistair. Tonya's better today, and I was actually chatting before the broadcast with Alistair. We need to get you a mic or something, Alistair, that we get a decent microphone or something. So, yeah, we will. We will do that, I promise you.
At the moment, guys, though, Tom, just a sec. At the moment, it's probably good that you can't hear Alistair all that well.
You see, now you're going to get to stop being nasty to Alistair comments. Alistair has a defense force.
I am going to get you for it.
I think that was a threat. I promise. Scared. Something like that. St. Farie says, hello, Army. We will listen and watch. Jennifer Janssen from Fearon, the mom of the lovely Jenna Lee, is on board. And Gwen Sanders says, hi from Oz. We appreciate all you do. Lots of Australians aboard. Thank you for joining us out of Oz. Wow. Do appreciate it. Okay, so there were a couple of things on the agenda. The Academy Awards, which I didn't watch, but I saw a couple of clips. Did you watch it? As you watched the show today, did you watch the Academy Awards? Do we still... I remember back in the day, you'd get excited. You'd cook early and have dinner ready and sit as a family in front of the TV, get all excited about the Academy Awards. And now it's like... And I don't know about everyone else, but I'm like, oh, really? Did they have the Academy Awards? The only thing I will say about the Academy Awards is that everyone looks the same. That Ozempic drug has turned everyone into like a zero BMI, better version of themselves, and I'm worried it's going to kill them one day. They're all just going to drop. Miley Cyrus, who I used to think was gorgeous, is now looking like I don't know what it is. The skin is pulled tight over the cheekbones. Did you see Whoopi Goldberg? She always had some curves. Whoopi Goldberg looked like she'd be ready to run the 100 meters in the Olympics. And I'm like, there's something wrong here. This Ozempic thing is getting out of control. And there is a look that they've got. I think there's an Ozempic. There's an Ozempic look, and you can see it. Miley Cyrus, she's on it. I'm 10-1.
Yeah, no, you can see it. It's got a very distinct look. The eyes are sunken and the jaws.
It's the eyes, hey? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can see
good.
that. I don't know about Tonya, but I certainly haven't taken Ozempic, and I don't think Alistair has either. None of us have got none of us are rocking the Ozempic look.
Some, hand it over.
we don't have the money for it.
Don't have the Ozempic budget. Yes, sorry.
Did you get the opening number for the Olympics, for the Oscars?
No.
The woman from Wicked, the one that was singing the song.
The white lady or the black lady?
The black lady.
She's brilliant. I can't remember her name now.
What was she winning?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that, but I do know that went down a rabbit hole on YouTube the other day watching her videos, and she is phenomenal. One of the best singing voices I've ever heard. But I will go and take a look.
Oh, no, voice is brilliant.
No, I'll go and take a look and see what she was wearing. I didn't see that.
She had a white wedding gown on. It looked like it.
Okay.
And then she had about 500 earrings in each ear, and through her nose and on her fingers, she had these like swords on. It was like Edward Scissorhands, you know?
Well, when you're in the entertainment business, you got to get attention. You got to peacock. They call it peacocking. You got to peacock. You got to put feathers and bells and shiny things and spears. There was a bit.
That wasn't a peacock.
It is true.
Okay, got it. Margaret says, maybe I need a trip to Australia. I'd love to go. I've got family there, and I have never been to visit them, and I would dearly one day love to go. Alex says, Alistairisms. So there we go. That's catching on.
Alistairisms. That's good, yeah.
Bernadette Erasmus says, say a prayer for me, please, Tom, London, and team. Feeling emotional. My sister passed away on this day. She was 46. My brother had a fatal car accident on this day. He was 17. Can you imagine? You get two knocks on the same day that every year you've got to. No. And I think we all got days like this, but can you imagine a double day like that? Okay, so we will say a prayer for you, Bernadette Erasmus, and hope that you feel. So maybe the object of the show today should be to try and make ourselves feel a little bit better. A lot of people are fatigued. The year hasn't even really started. A lot of people have run out of money. I mean, everywhere I go, I say how things go. I say we've run out of money. All my money's run out, and it's the beginning of the month, and I don't have any money. And I go with the Uber drivers, and I say, "How's business?" And they say, "It's bad." And I go, well, it's that time of the year. People are still trying to recover from January. February's are really bad. So, yeah, you could be, whatever state you're in, you could be taking a bit of flack at the moment. And if you're not, good for you. We celebrate your happiness. But if you are feeling a little grim right now, and I have been, let's make it our mission over the next half an hour or so to cheer ourselves up. Shall we?
I agree.
Shall we do that? Because we can cheer us. We don't need external forces. We can do it ourselves. We can cheer ourselves up, and that's exactly what we can do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Listen, I have a thing. Like, South Africans are very upset at the moment. The atmosphere out there is not good, and we've got division. And please, can we find some peace? Please, I'm asking us to come together.
Okay, what else was on the running order?
People.
What else was on our running order today? We had Olympics.
There was lots of stuff on the running order, but I'd like to, can I throw a spanner in the works? You
can throw a spanner in the works.
Thank you. Can I ask you some questions?
So this was Tonya's big idea. She said, how about if we interview Tom? And I was like, I never get interviewed, so that's novel. Yeah, I'd like to be interviewed by anybody, actually. And then Tonya said, well, why don't we do it? Me, Alistair, and all the fans and followers and friends.
All the family. Yeah, exactly.
And Alistair said he liked the idea. And I thought, I'll answer anything. There's pretty much nothing I won't tell you. I promise you.
Well, there we go. So, guys, this is time to ask Tom anything. I've got a few questions, but I'm sure you'll have more. Pop them in the comments. Yeah. But, Tom, I want to know, over the years, I suppose calling you a veteran makes you sound old, but okay, I'm going to go with it anyway. You're a veteran broadcaster, right?
Am I?
Who has been...
Yeah, a veteran I tell you what. Okay, hold that question, and we will take questions in the comments section as well. So if you've got something you want to ask me, I don't mind. Ask me anything. You put it in there and I'll answer.
That's going to be funny.
And Tonya's got a few lined up. Alistair's got a few lined up. And let's see if we can get a couple of laughs going and have some fun over the next half hour or so before the show ends. And we leave each other with smiles on our faces and happiness in our heart. That's my mission right now. I know it sounds airy-fairy and a bit cheesy. And
it's not cheesy. We need it.
Little bit good things guy, but I like the good things guy.
But we need
and
it.
let's
I
be a
like
bit
the
good things.
guy.
Yeah, let's be a bit good things this afternoon. All right, you ready? You're going to join us, Tonya, Alistair, and myself. Join us in just a moment when we go and flip the script on the Tom London Show. Instead of me interviewing people, you get to interview me. I am starting to get a little nervous, but before the hammer falls on me, I would like to take you over to Suzuki Kyalami and introduce you to one of Suzuki Kyalami and Ravonia's fabulous salespeople, Yvonne Bolhutter. Last week or two, I did a little test drive on a Suzuki Espresso. The Celerio comes up on Thursday. And then Suzuki Kyalami and Suzuki Ravonia decided to put the Espresso on special. Yvonne has the special for you. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Yvonne, and boy, have I got a deal for you on the Suzuki Espresso Gel Plus. This perfect little city car is loaded with features. The vehicle comes standard with Bluetooth, a touchscreen radio that's Apple Android compatible. You've got aircon, USB connection, electric windows, and airbags. So here's the deal. At the low price of $177,900, you save 12,000 Rand. Only at Suzuki Ravonia and Suzuki Kyalami, the home of happy customers.
If you're looking for a little Suzuki for 177,000 peanuts, man. Brand new car with service, got all the warranties and you name it. You go talk to these people. They'll do a deal with you. When you do go to Suzuki Kyalami or Suzuki Ravonia, tell them Tom sent you. Okay. Ask Tom anything is the theme for the next half hour or so. We'll see how long we can do this and how long I can stand it for. We'll start with questions from you on the other side of the camera, wherever you are in the world, or South Africa. Gwen Sanders wants to know, can you ride a bicycle? With funny eyes, laughing eyes. Yes, I can ride a bicycle. I don't ride bicycles often. The last time I rode a bicycle was with my ex-girlfriend Michelle and her children, because nowadays you can't just let the kids ride out on their own, so you all have to go with the 10-year-old while he rides around the neighborhood. And I almost got ridden over that day, and that was the last day. And it was mountain bikes, and I do not like mountain bikes. I don't like the way you sit on them. And I believe that the teeth and jaw departments in hospitals are full of people who've put their faces into the handlebars, and I'm not. So, yes, I do ride a bicycle. I lived on one as a kid, but I think ultimately you outgrow bicycles, and then you move on to tricycles and then four wheels. Yes, Alistair?
Let me guess, it was a chopper.
No. What that I was riding with the ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, as a kid.
No, it was a mountain.
As a kid, your first bicycle.
I think it was the ex-husband's mountain bike. It wasn't mine. It came out the garage, and I think I was driving the ex-husband's bike. That's what I think I was driving. I was sleeping on his side of the bed.
Okay.
But you know what I mean. I mean, when the one guy's gone, the other one moves in, and you take over.
Tom, stop it.
I'm not supposed to say that.
Okay, but what? But
okay, hold on.
What was your first?
No,
what was your first
bicycle? My first bicycle.
Yeah. Was it a chopper? Was it a BMX?
No, it wasn't a fancy. We lived in Springs. Rally Cycles had the factory down the road, and my brother and I wanted bikes, and my mom said, "You can't have the fancy ones. We don't have money." And so we got, I think they were called Avosets. Which upset us a little bit, the name, but like avocado. The other guys were driving Scorpions with chromollies and choppers, and we had Avosets. But we loved our bikes anyway, It was like that coat of many colors things, the Dolly Parton clothes. That was us back in Springs.
Oh, cute, man. Cute. You and Greg, huh?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Ansi Berger says, are you ever scared or serious? She was.
He is. Never serious.
Are you serious? I am. Don't you
No,
think?
I'm teasing.
I do have my serious
teasing.
moments. Yeah, I can be
No,
very
you do.
serious when I'm not entertaining or storytelling. I'm very quiet. I live alone, and
Yeah.
I live a very quiet life. Some people would say, what happens is girlfriends, potential girlfriends and ex-girlfriends, they see me on things like Facebook and they go, he must be exciting. And then they become my girlfriend and then they find out I'm a very, very, very boring person. I am very dull and quite boring and I don't like going places, and it doesn't take long before they go, you're not what we thought you were. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you are in bed. It doesn't make up for being boring out of the bedroom. That's what I maintain anyway. You asked for it. You want to ask me questions? I'll give you honest. Do you prefer cats or children? Says Anita. I prefer children. This is it. Tonya's a cat lady. She's 2 cats down. She's far gone now. There's no rescuing Tonya. She'll never get married or have a man ever again. She's 2 cats plus a stray cat has moved in.
Just a stray, an extra.
3 cats down. You are never coming back from that. So
Thomas got parrots. You'll never have cats.
I've got parrots. I will not get cats. And I just think when you get cats and you get more and more of them, that's when you know you've lost it. You're hopeless. You're not gonna have a relationship again. Your primary relationship is now with animals that vomit on your bed occasionally. That's not for me.
And tear your couches up.
Drum roll, please, for Alistair. An Alistairism.
That's not an Alistairism.
It's not? It's just the truth. Helen says,
Just the truth.
what's your favorite song and why? Favorite song is Midnight Train to Georgia, Gladys Knight and the Pips. That's my favorite song.
Oh, wow. What a record.
Yeah, I got 2 favorites. One is Holding On to You, Terence Trent D'Arby, because I think it's such a great portrayal of the love and lust that a man can have for a woman. That's how I feel every time I'm in love. And then the whole
Every week.
not every week, about once every 3 months, and at this rate, I'm slowing down to once a year right now. But that was an Alistairism, maybe.
Yeah.
You got to calm me down.
But Midnight Train, and why? That might have been a hint. That might have been a hint. That might have been a hint. Do you think it was a hint, Tonya?
It was a hint.
It was a hint. Hey? Yeah.
It was a hint, and I need to get out of here.
So, favorite song, Gladys Knight. I'll tell you why it was my favorite. It is my favorite song because I was working at a community station 2 years into radio. I was, still a baby, wet behind the ears. And then I left the community station I was at to join a commercial application to hopefully join a new radio station. And the application I joined, they never got the license. So all of a sudden I was without a job. I'd gone from interviewing John Bon Jovi and Phil Collins to back to the Boksburg Pick and Pay. Attention, hyper shoppers, in aisle 13. That's where I went all the way back to Boksburg Pick and Pay. And I was sitting there going, how cuck is life? And I went home and in Springs, my parents' house, 26 Sierra Road, Selcourt Springs, and I lay on the floor and I cried. And I put the radio on. I put it on. Yeah, I was 25. I think I was 25. I put the radio on in the lounge. I lay on the lounge floor. I put 94.7 on and I cried. And the song came on, Midnight Train to Georgia. And there's a part in the song that goes, superstar, but he didn't get far. And can you imagine? I'm lying on the floor crying, and then it tells me, like, the radio, my dream, my thing tells me, superstar, and you didn't get far. And I got up.
Why did you like the song?
Because it spurred me on. Because the next morning I thought, let me call 94.7.
Okay.
And I called Neil Johnson at 94.7 and I said, I'm Tom Lund, I've been working at Canny FM. And he said, we know who you are. Can you start Friday? And I went, sorry, what?
No.
And the next thing I was working on the biggest commercial radio station in Johannesburg, like 2 days later. So
Midnight Train to Georgia.
Midnight Train to Georgia always lets me know, no matter where you are, how bad things are, they can turn around in a heartbeat. And that's why I love that song, as well as the voice of Gladys Knight. Tom, have you ever tried a Discover Scuba? Don't start with me on scuba, because Tonya's a scuba diver, my brother's a scuba diver, my niece is a scuba diver, my nephew is a scuba diver, my niece's husband is a scuba diver. My brother took me to Bass Lake 12 meters under, and I remember being 12 meters under going, this is for the birds. I am definitely not a scuba diver. I'm not a scuba type of person. I still call them goggles and flippers. I get into trouble, and so...
You do not call them goggles and flippers.
I know, but I do. I call them, I say, well, where are those goggles I'm supposed to wear? And then all the scuba divers don't like me. Yes?
Shocking.
Alistair.
Shocking.
What are they supposed to be called then?
Fins and masks.
Mask and fins.
See, there we go. That's
Mask
the
and
problem. They
fins.
look at you like that. It's like
Goggles and flippers are for the pool.
Tonya just looked at you. Do you see that? That's how they look at you if you say goggles and flippers. And I was like, oh no. And my brother, who's one of the best scuba divers in the world, it took me 3 meters down. I was on my knees, and then I swallowed, I breathed in a bit of water through the regulator, and then I started coughing, and I said to him, I'd like to go up, please, like in the only sign language I knew. And I started lifting myself up, and he held me down. My brother, who I love, right? He held me down, and I was going, boop, 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 boop. And then when I finally got up, I said, Greg, why did you hold me down? He said, we sort our problems out under the water, but, and I'm like, I don't like that. I do not like the sound of,
It's true.
I'd rather go up and sort my problems out where there's oxygen, but apparently scuba divers don't. No, you see, you're supposed to just cough through the regulator and not panic and stuff, but I can't do that. I panic, and so...
Well, here's the thing is with you going up, like if you had been at the bottom of the ocean, you'd probably be dead. So, yeah, you're not meant to go up. And you're meant to sort your problems down under the water.
My goodness. Well, so there we go. So there's the answer. I have tried. My brother used to have that scuba shop in Brightwater Commons with the swimming pool out front. And every now and then I'd go there and put a tank on and a regulator, and I'd go sit at the bottom for 45 minutes and not move, just meditate. That was fun. I did enjoy it. I would do that again.
But that is the sea. That's the same thing.
No, it's not. They're currents and there are jellyfishes and sharks, and no, not for me. Margaret reckons I can do anything I want in life, including belly dancing. I do not think so, although I do have the belly for it now. Gillian wants to know, it's Shrove Tuesday, Lent begins tomorrow. Who's giving up what for 30 days?
Well, I'm Muslim, so I'm on Ramadan.
You're on Ramadan. You're not eating or drinking anything at the moment.
Yeah, my mom's giving up chocolates.
Ooh.
She's Catholic.
And
What are you giving up?
Alistair?
You got to give up something.
Are you giving up anything, Alistair?
I gave it up 20 years ago.
I don't even want to know what that is. And you can play the bell now for an Alistairism.
I think he gets the drum roll. What happened about the You Magazine interview you had? Was it ever published? Yes, it was online. Very nice, and some of the nicest pictures ever taken of me. But I don't think I made the print version, which was that you realize you're not that popular when you don't make the actual print version. But anyway, love this idea of interviewing Tom. Question: beach or mountains? Ooh, mountains. Yeah, I'd go with the Drakensberg, Central Berg. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. And the beach, I like looking at the beach.
Camping or hotel?
Which hotel?
Camping or hotel?
Oh, hotel. I had enough camping as a kid. Well, we never went to hotels as kids. I'd never seen a hotel growing up. My parents, we used to go camping, and they had a caravan and a bakkie, and so we'd all climb in the back of the bakkie and then go to Durban on the back of the bakkie. But we had a canopy, so it was safe, don't worry. And then we would camp, and my mother would always say, hotels are such a waste of money, and we don't have the money for it anyway. And so we knew we were poor, and we didn't have money for hotels. And my friends would say, we went to the cabanas at Sun City. I'm like, what, you guys, stop torturing me. I never saw a cabana. I never saw a chalet. I never saw once only, coming back from Durban, my sister had chicken pox and vomited in the back of the car around Harry Smith. Oh. And I think my dad said, I can't do this. And we pulled into the Holiday Inn, and we stayed in a Holiday Inn, but we were all sick. So I don't remember that. And so I never really stayed in a hotel room until I was about 24, when I was going to visit my brother in London, and the plane was broken, so they put us all in a 4-star hotel. Everyone was bitching and moaning. They were like, oh, we're going to be late. And I was like, I'm finally going to get to stay in a hotel. I ran the bar 3 times. I watched all the channels on the TV. I always get great delight in watching people experience stuff for the first time, like when someone flies for the first time, or they see the ocean for the first time, because I've been there. I know that excitement of being deprived of something. It's like you really just would love to see the ocean or fly on a plane one day, and then one day you do, and I love that.
Dude, what a thing.
So yeah, it would be beach, mountains, although I do like the beach. I like to look at the beach. I've got a problem with sand. I'm not a big fan of sand in my underpants and my toes and my shoes. I like to look at preferably from the 12 Apostles, a suite at the 12 Apostles overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
I mean, the beach in Cape Town
preferably.
It's just like, it's not necessary because you can't get into the water. Like, what's the point? What's the point?
Well, you can look at it. It's
Miami
nice.
Beach all day.
What's that, Alistair?
You can get into the water in Cape Town. You've just got to dress up like a seal.
Yeah, that's not for me. Okay, we're going to get to Tonya's. Do you like to dance? We'll just run through these quickly. Do you like to dance? Yes, I love to dance, and I think I'm a great dancer, but I know I'm not. What's your most embarrassing moment, Tom? What was your? It would have been in the emergency ward at Helen. It would have been in the emergency ward at Helen Joseph when the emergency doctor said, "I'm going to do a full screening," and I said, "Physical screening." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I'm going to touch you from head to toe, literally from head to toe." And then he put one finger whoop like that, and he did ask for consent first. I will give him that, but I was just lying there. That was it. I found that quite embarrassing. I thought that was
your most embarrassing moment.
Recently.
That's a medical story.
Okay, recently. I've had lots of embarrassing moments, plenty, too many to mention.
Can I ask for what's your most embarrassing moment on air? What was the most cringeworthy story on air?
Because I know nothing about rugby. I once interviewed a rugby player. I think it was a guy called The Beast.
They're asking the wrong person.
I can't remember the guy, but this guy came in and I thought he was still trying to become a Springbok, and it was a story of this guy's journey. And so I said, I did the whole interview talking to him like he was about to crack it big time one day and wishing him well. And it turned out he was like the latest Springbok sensation. I've been interviewing him for half an hour, telling the guy like, one day you'll make it. And meanwhile, the whole country was going mad over this guy. I think it was The Beast or something like that. And I told Yusuf Abramji, the guy, you guys are mad. Putting a sports person in my studio. I remember Steve Waugh came into the Obi van once at a Walk the Talk, and I thought, my blood ran cold because I thought, what am I going to ask this guy? I don't know what to ask him.
You don't know cricket?
I don't know cricket. I don't know jack about cricket.
I don't know. I don't do sports. I'm the same.
I should be the sports guy on the show then.
You'll have to be. You're right, Alistair. It was Ideal Cycles in Springs that brought in Western Flyers. My dad made me a chopper, said Gillian. That's right. Ideal Cycles was in Geduld. I think the Hawks family owned that. I remember shooting David Hawks with a marble in his backyard once, but that's another story. He was shooting marbles at me, and so we shot marbles at each other. Catties and marbles. That was how we used to roll back in the day. OGs.
That's it.
Do you hear that? That's the
it.
lightning and thunder around Velties at the moment. Mandy would let me leave my slippers under her bed any day.
Ooh, Mandy.
That's good for my ego, I've got to tell you. That's good for my ego. Una says, I think Tonya has the right idea with cats. There's another cat lady, see?
There we go. Thanks, Una.
Let's see what else we can do. Brightwater Commons was Randburg Waterfront, that's right. Okay, there are a lot of comments. Are you an introvert? Yes, by nature I'm an introvert, but I'm a storyteller by trade, and I'm able to be an extrovert at the touch of a button. So if I'm just moseying through the day, I'm just a quiet guy and I don't make a lot of noise. But if you put me on a stage in front of 40,000 people, well, then my job is to light the stadium up, and I'll do it. So,
and that is true.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. I've seen Tom go into shows and be like just so on fire in that show, and the minute he's out, he's just as quiet as a mouse. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. I know. I even surprise myself.
You're an introvert, actually.
I am. I'm a big introvert. Okay, your turn, Tonya. Let's go. Let's see what you've got up your sleeve.
Right. I want to know who your favorite guest was throughout the years of your veteran broadcasting. Now I'm putting you on the spot.
My favorite guest?
Yes. Who came into the studio and you loved more than anything? I'm going to ask you the opposite as well, so you might as well think of your best and worst guest at the same time.
My favorite guest.
Mm.
I just pushed the mic down with my nose. I've never done that in 25 years of broadcasting. I realize you can. You can reposition it like that. My favorite guest. You know, I've interviewed over 4,000 people, so it's hard to answer that question. But
Really?
yeah, my favorite guest would be
Let's go one of your favorite guests.
I think. Okay. I'll go with Credo Mutwa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's Credo Mutwa? Sorry for being so ignorant. Sorry.
Credo Mutwa was he was a Sanusi. He was a Sangoma. He was a head Sangoma. He was the top, the very top. And someone said, I was probably 24 years old, and someone said, you're going to interview Credo Mutwa, and I did some research, and I didn't really know who was going to walk in and what effect he'd have on my life. And this old man walked in with these Coke bottle glasses, and he smelt of eucalyptus oil, and we started talking. And it was supposed to be a half-hour interview, and it went on for 2.5 hours, almost the entire show. And people were driving to the radio studio to meet this guy just from what he was saying. And it was 1996.
So just after apartheid.
Yeah, it was 1996, and he wanted to make predictions. Like he used to make predictions, and he predicted that Princess Diana was going to die, and a year later she was gone. And I'll never forget Credo Mutwa coming into my studio. But more than that, I'll never forget. You know, that man taught me something about how you give respect to people.
Right.
In what way? He didn't need to give me any respect. I was 24 years old. He must have been in his 70s, maybe 80s or something like that. It was me who was supposed to get down in front of him and pay him massive respect for being an elder, for being an important person in our country and our lives. And he just didn't play it that way. Where he walked in and he said, "Dear sir, thank you so much for having me in your." And I went, "No, I'm not sir, I'm just Tom." And he used to, and he was just so gracious. And I'll never forget the way he spoke to the people around him. And I thought, that is how you respect is something that this is what I learned from Credo Mutwa and interviewing him. Respect is something you put on a plate and you serve it to the person in front of you.
It's so
you
true.
serve respect
what
to
a
people.
Beautiful analogy.
You serve it with your mannerisms, with your nature, with your words, with your kindness, with your strength. You serve respect. And I saw him do that. I've never seen, maybe Nelson Mandela, same kind of thing, how the way he served respect to people. I saw that. And there have been a few other people along the way, but very few, maybe a handful in my life, of human beings have I come across that are able to serve that kind of respect to their fellow man without knowing them yet.
How amazing.
It always impressed me, and I'll never forget Credo Mutwa. And for that reason, I would say he was my favorite interview. Yeah.
Aww.
Okay.
I love that story.
Another question for Tonya, then we'll do one from Alistair, then we'll take one from the...
Okay, I want the complete reverse. Have you ever kicked anyone out of your studio?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Tell us.
Okay, the first guy I kicked out of my studio.
Oh, there's more than one.
You must remember, you know when I say I'm not a sinner, I mean I'm not a saint? This is what I mean. I've done some stuff. So I was in my 20s. I was working at Canny FM, Hyde Park Corner Shopping Centre, 5th floor. A guy came and stood and looked at me through the production studio window. And I was always quite friendly. I'd look at whoever was there and wave and say hello. And I waved and said hello, and this guy didn't wave and say hello back. And I was like, okay, oh well. And I carried on working. And then like 5 minutes later, he's still standing there staring at me. And so I go, hello, like that again. And he still doesn't say hello back. He's just staring at me.
Oh, dear.
And I was getting a bit like, I suppose I was getting a bit afraid, like, because you hear these stories of stalkers and blah, blah, blah. And my mind was going in that direction. And then the third time I said hello to him, he still didn't say hello back, and I lost it. And I walked out, and then he came into the studio, and he stood behind me while I was doing a link, right behind me. And when I turned around, I saw this guy behind me, and I got such a fright. I grabbed him by the collar and his belt, and I lifted him up off the ground. and I threw him out the studio door. He just walked in. I literally threw him about 4 meters through the air. And this guy did a Bola Makisi, and he landed in the station manager's office. I still remember he fell into the cane furniture, and it was a huge palaver. And then he ran down the passage to the lifts, and I was screaming blue murder. And then the production engineer came to me, and he said, Tom, why did you do that? And I said, did you see that guy? And he said, no, he came in here and he told us he's your biggest fan. And I said, but he didn't say hello to me. And he said, yeah, and that's because he was starstruck. He was speechless meeting his hero, Tom London. And, well, his reward was I threw him right out the studio. I felt so bad.
No.
Yeah, I did. I ran to the lifts trying to find him, and he was gone. So if you are watching and you're the guy that I threw out of the Canny FM studios back in 1995 or 6, I apologize, and I didn't know. I was young and stupid.
That is a crazy story.
So I threw him out of my studio, and then the Macarena came out here, and they were going to do an interview at like 2 p.m, and they only pitched. They were there at the radio station, and they went down and had some drinks or something, and then they came back 1.5 hours later, and I said, no, you're too late, and I kicked them out. And then the bouncer threatened to kill me, and then they were going to break the studio, all over the Macarena. And then the lady who brought them to the country said I would never work on radio again. I was known as a big rebel because of stuff like this. But that's it. Those are the only two people. And guests I didn't enjoy, or they didn't enjoy me.
Yeah, that you disliked.
A group called Urban Cookie Collective. I never forget, I interviewed this group. They'd flown out from London. They flew out from London, and I said, so whatever question. And 3 questions in, the one guy said, you ask a lot of questions. And I went, excuse me, that's my job. You're here to answer questions. What? And then during the ad break, I said, listen, if you don't start answering the questions, get out. And they answered a few more, and then they left. So there have been some that have gone rotten. Ali Bacha, I think he didn't like being in the studio with me either.
Oh, what happened with Ali Bacha?
The whole Hansie Cronje thing. People wanted him to talk about Hansie Cronje. He didn't want to talk about it. And then I put phone calls on where people asked him the question, and then that upset him. Our bosses were the Kirsches back then. And when he left, he said, I'm going to have a bride the Kirsches this afternoon. Bye-bye. And off he went. I went, oh, he's going to report on me. And anyway, that's the impression I got. But maybe and I saw him at Cape Town International a year ago, and we had a chat, and we were friends. So it's all,
he was fine.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Okay,
now.
So
yeah.
it's all,
and I met his son.
under the bridge now.
You don't watch sports, so what are some of your hobbies? Asks Helen. What don't you understand? You see, this is how it starts, right? I say I'm a boring man, and then people try and work out that I'm not, and they say, so what are your hobbies? And then I have to tell you, I don't have any. I don't got no hobbies. Like none.
Does Netflix count?
I love learning stuff. I love discovering stuff. I spend a lot of time reading stuff on the internet. I pick something and then I research it and learn it. Like for years, I wanted to understand agriculture and farming. So I bought the Farmers Weekly every week, and I read every article I could on commercial farming to try and understand it. It's just, I think I like to know a bit about everything, and I spend my life trying to learn as much as I can about stuff. I think that's just in me. What else we got here? Many questions. Won't be able to take them all, but let's go to, should we do Alistair? Alistair, you got a question. Oh, hold on. You disconnected at some point, and so you're not on the system anymore.
Oh, is he still out? Is he hanging in space again?
Oh, I've got to share the screen. I've got to find him. He's disappeared into, his call got cut, and he disappeared into the ether. And now I actually can't find, oh, there he is. Okay, hold on. Oh, you know what you're not on the sound system yet. So let me just hook you up to the sound system. The video's there. Hey, it's a mission, and it's all upside down. So I'm trying to read everything upside down.
Let's see.
I'm trying to do this. This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at while I'm doing that. Okay, you should be connected now, Alistair.
Al?
No, he's not.
Big Al.
All right, listen, I'm going to try and connect you while we're chatting. All right? We'll go back to Tonya with a question, and I'll do an answer.
I'm looking at Alistair upside down on the screen.
He's upside down, but he's the right way around now, but he hasn't got a voice. Some big Dazolza. Okay, there he is. At least he knows how to play along.
That's too funny.
Okay,
That's
all
too
right.
funny.
Next question, Tonya.
Oh, from me? Okay, I know it's a bit heavy, that one. Let me change my attack. I was going to ask you about child soldiers just because I'm personally interested in it. Maybe you should tell people about child soldiers.
Okay. When I was 27 or so, I started editing TV programs, and I started making TV programs. I made, ironically, some TV programs for the Department of Health back then on HIV awareness and STD awareness. And then I came across a guy from the DRC who was a director, and we started making stuff together. I'd edit the footage that he'd bring in, and we'd create TV programs and documentaries. And we made a documentary on the child soldiers of Sierra Leone and Uganda, which I spent
That must have been fascinating.
yeah, which I spent a year of my life doing. And it was, it was fascinating. It was hectic, and it took a year to clear my mind of all the images and the stories I was exposed to.
I can just imagine, Tom. Horrific.
And
horrific.
the irony is that at that time, it was Joseph Kony and his army and his rebels that were causing the trouble. And the irony is that to this day, it still exists.
Still there.
We haven't
Still
changed.
exists.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Nothing's changed.
So yeah, I did. I cut a docu
Sad.
called Lost Innocence on child soldiers, but that's back in, must be about 25 years ago now.
I would love to see it.
I don't even know where
wanted
to
to
find
ask
it. Yes.
I wanted to ask you, Tom, is there an impact to being famous? What changes when you're famous?
I don't know what famous is. Like, I've always wondered what famous is. And I think they're different levels. They're different levels.
Yeah, there are.
I saw Michael Jackson step out of an airplane and thousands of people wanted to touch him. And there's that level. So I've never experienced. I did have some ladies rip my clothes off at a nightclub in Boksburg once.
Really?
And I felt a bit like Michael Jackson for about 10 minutes at a club called Tramps. It's a ladies' night. I managed to whip them up, about 300 women. I've whipped them up into such a frenzy that before the dancers came out, they came and pulled my clothes off me. And the problem was I was so skinny. I was so skinny that it was just embarrassing. That might have been my most embarrassing moment, actually. And one of my best.
Next on my list.
Yeah, mixed emotions.
What is your most embarrassing? That's funny.
On air, I got to tell you, I once did a show where I was interviewing some people, and then the next group in were paramedics that we were going to interview on the day of the life of an ER24 paramedic. So there were 2 ER24 advanced life support paramedics in my studio, sitting on the couch, waiting to be interviewed. Guest sitting, I was interviewing the guest. The interview came to an end. I stood up, I shook the guest's hand. I said, thank you very much for coming through. They started walking out. The paramedic stood up to sit down. And as this happened, I jumped and sat in my chair, but the wheels went from underneath me. And so I went backwards like that in the 702 studio. I went backwards and I knocked the branding, all the 702 branding that hangs on the wall. I knocked that off the wall, plus the digital clock. It all came crashing down.
Oh my God.
And the chair, and I did a whole Bollamakissi, and I landed on my head with the chair on top of me.
Oh, wow.
And the paramedics were going, are you okay? Are you okay? But the big problem wasn't me. The problem was that when I did the Bollamakissi, we were playing ABBA, Dancing Queen, between the interviews. We were playing a song.
Yes.
It was ABBA, Dancing Queen. And my left foot, as I went over, pulled the cable out for the power supply to the desk.
Oh no, the whole desk went down.
Everything went down. All that was left was the microphone.
Oh, you must have almost lost your job.
The whole studio went silent. We realized we'd taken the entire radio station plus Cape Talk off air. And the engineer, Fingers Zucchini, he was pressing buttons like crazy. And we were both under the desk trying to find out where to plug this cable back in. And we plugged it back in. And everything came on, and Dancing Queen was playing, and we thought we were fine, and we got in our chairs. The paramedics jumped in, and the song ended, and instead of our microphones coming on, the song replayed, and all the mics were frozen off.
No.
So it ended, you are the dancing queen, and then it stopped, and then it started again. It went, and now we don't know what to do. Because Dancing Queen's playing for the second time, and it played 3 times before we could fix the problem.
Oh, that's a death in radio.
It's instant firing. It's all sorts of things. People were sending messages going, the most unprofessional show we've ever heard on 702. And we could do nothing about it. We were restarting computers, and ABBA, Dancing Queen, 3 times in a row. Brought to you by Tom London, award-winning broadcaster.
Man, that is crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, Margaret Guidus, go to cover the comments here. Sorry, Tonya. Krita Mutwa, how lucky can you be? Krita Mutwa, I have his book. He predicted a lot of truth about South Africa. Mandy says Krita Mutwa must have been an incredible interview. The other one that was, I don't remember much of it, but Graham Hancock, the guy that brought us Fingerprints of the Gods, fascinating interview back then. Respect is key in life, says Margaret. Let's see. That's not nice to let the guy roll a ball of McKissy. Temper. It's that Viking coming out. That's a little while back, I think. What do you like? Why are you picking on Alistair?
We're not picking on Alistair.
Ignatius says it's a very interesting conversation. I'm glad you think so. And Janine says, you guys are absolutely awesome. I love this show. So I was watching the show back last week, and I was like, we're actually quite funny. Hey, for a bunch of sad, lonely, single people, we're actually quite funny.
Listen, will you stop making single sound so bad?
Oh, here comes a comment that I have to address. It's interesting that you have such a... How's this, right? So let me just... They see, I read this, I'm like, huh? It's interesting that you have such a pull with a lot of ladies, yet I don't think there is one you can read accurately at the end of the day.
What?
That's a very deep comment that Margaret just made.
Deep. Who's that, Margaret?
I've never thought I could pull. Well, I did at one stage. I thought, when you're about 39, you got a lot of confidence as a guy. You're like, oh, I can do anything. And then I remember I was in an office with a lot of guys, and they said, have you heard of Mystery, the pickup artist? And I was like, no. And so instead of working at Vodacom for about 2 weeks, all we did was study the Mystery method, how to pick up women. And
okay, what was that?
Oh, there are lots of things you do.
Oh, okay. Oh, Dish.
It's a hold. It's
like the show's about to finish. Now I want to really know what's going on there.
To cut a long story short, I ran around doing this for about 6 months, and it works. I can tell you it works.
It works?
Yeah. You can walk into
give us just one.
You can walk into a bank. You can walk into a bank, and then you can walk out with the teller. And it's all consensual. You can do stuff like that. If you so I go back to the earlier thing of peacocking. You see, I don't do this stuff. You can see I'm not, right. So you would you have a lot of bangles on and bright, buttons and things, and that's the first step. That's how you would. But animals do that as well. So you do that. Yeah. And then, especially with very pretty ladies. You don't tell them they're pretty. That's the worst you can do.
No, never tell them they're
that
pretty.
their entire lives. In fact, the prettier they are, the more you got to find fault with them. You got to say, oh, I love that funny little kink in your left ear there. But look at that, your nose squiggles when you laugh. And that's the first step. Once you start that, and then
then it works.
I don't want to give it all away, but we instead of working. I mean, this is what you do in corporate. Instead of working for about 2 weeks, we studied the Mystery method. Pick up artist, and But so I did think that I could do that. But I don't think I've got a pull with ladies. I don't think of myself like that. I really don't. And there's one you can't read accurate? I think I can read people accurately, and I think that's I'm going to be honest with you, right? I think you've touched on something, and I think that's the problem. If you want to know if I've got a problem, it's probably that I can read people very accurately, and then when you're with someone and they say one thing, but you kind of know it's another.
They don't mean that.
That's a problem, and I think that's my problem, is that I'm a doubting Thomas, and so the moment I see
a doubting Thomas,
the moment I see the actions don't match the words, I'm like, okay, arrivederci. I'm useless. Don't take don't take pickup advice or relationship advice from me. I'm useless. I'm boring. I'm none of those good things. I'm just I really am. You don't want me. You really don't. Maybe for a night, but not much longer. Gillian says, when are you going to interview one of us?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, Gillian, seen that you popped your head up, Gillian. How about we interview Gillian on one of our future shows? Thursday or Tuesday next week. Shall we do that? We'll do a mini interview with Gillian.
Yeah.
All right, Gillian, if you're in, say yes in the comment section, and then we will interview you on Thursday. We will ask you personal questions. Lots of them, yes.
Yeah, lots of them, yeah.
Tom, do you train broadcasters who want to grow in the world of theatre of the mind space? Okay, so maybe Ignatius is a aspiring broadcaster. Look, there were broadcasters.
You do.
Yeah,
don't pretend you don't. You do.
Yeah, there were broadcasters when I was in radio that didn't. They liked the studio to themselves, but I didn't. I used to invite anyone and everyone in, and so very often there were young broadcasters in the studio, and I would try and teach them whatever I had been taught. So listen, my offer to you, Ignatius, is the offer I've given to anybody who's ever asked that question. And that is, yes, Tonya.
I wanted to say that Tom is probably one of the most significant broadcast training individuals in this country.
That's very nice.
I know you were about to give away. No, I know you were about to give away something for nothing.
No,
again.
no, I'm not.
Guys,
no.
This is what happens to me. Okay, like with Tom, like I'll say, Tom, you know what? You make really good money doing this, and then he goes, yeah, good idea. And the next thing he's doing it for nothing. Like, so if you want a broadcast course, want to know how to present yourself in front of the social media platform I want
to help this guy for free. I don't want to charge him.
Finish. Okay, Ignatius is different. You see what he does? But okay, Ignatius is different. I'll let Ignatius go. Nobody else, though. Okay?
Everyone else has to pay?
Yes.
Already? Okay,
Do you know
there
how
we go.
much broadcast training courses are?
You just slipped in. Ignatius, here's my offer to you. If you're in Johannesburg, come to me and we'll have a coffee together. You're welcome to come to my home, or we can meet at a coffee shop, and I will run you through the basics of broadcasting and give you some homework to do. And if you want to do that, I would happily sit with you for an hour or two, and whatever knowledge I've got that I can give you, I'll give it to you. We can do that over coffee, or if you're not in Johannesburg, I'm happy to chat to you online. At your convenience. Stan Katz and I'll put in a broadcasting course up. It's a social media online broadcasting course. We'll be releasing the info in the next day or two. That's if you want to learn how to make an impact, make money, promote your business or your personal brand online. And that's going to come at a cost. I think it's about $2,500 or something. But Ignatius,
it's not a big cost. It should be a lot more.
If it's radio, Ignatius, I'm happy to pass my knowledge on to you. You just get hold of me, send me a message in Messenger, and I'll get someone to look for it. Okay, right.
Precious, guys.
Final. Shall we do final two questions? Final two.
Yeah.
Final three. One from Alistair. One from Tonya. One from.
Oh my goodness.
One from the audience. Okay, let's go Alistair first. Alistair, yes. Oh, you see, he drops again. No, I can't. I've got to try and attach you. I spend my life on the show reattaching Alistair. And it's a mission, hey, because it doesn't connect immediately, and then you've got to cancel everything, and you've got to restart the whole lot.
And we're already over.
An hour, and I've got to work with Alistair upside down. There he is. He's the right way. Okay, all right. I got you on for the all-important Alistair question. What is what is it? Shoot.
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gone on a dating site?
Yes.
Oh, that was my question.
Really? He stole it?
Yes.
I have. I've got. So you want to know my internet dating history? I will tell you.
Yes.
Do you remember back in 2000 or 99, there was a thing called MSN Chat? You could chat to people from all over the world.
Yeah.
Oh, I spent a year at the Incredible Connection at Woodmead Value Mart. There was a Nino's or Mimo's or Cafe something coffee shop at the back with 10 computers connected to the internet. And myself and a guy called Mike, we'd order a coffee and stretch it out over 8 hours, and we'd sit there and we would talk to girls all over the world. So that was the start of my internet dating. And then I lived with some guys once that said that the future was a site called RussianBride.com. But I didn't get involved in that. Never got involved in that. I must say. And then a few years ago, people were saying, oh, Tinder and Bumble, and I have discussed this on the show before. I think that I've tried it. It just makes me feel useless. and it makes me feel ugly, makes me feel sad and desperate. But every year, I go back and I try again for about a day, and then I remove everything. And so I'm not a fan.
Have you ever done speed dating?
No, but I think speed dating could be fun.
I'm in. Let's go together.
Okay.
What? Why are you going so quiet?
No, I'm just trying to work out where we're going to go speed. Yes, Alistair?
So I was just going to say, I've recently joined a dating site. It's called Carbon Dating.
Okay, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Poor Alistair spent the whole show miming, says Barbara. Gillian wants to know if I worked as a VT operator. No, never as a VT operator, editing. Tom, I'm just going to ask you about you and Stan's course, but thank you for that. Yeah, Liz, in the next day or two, we'll be releasing the details. It's going to be really fun. It will be a hands-on. It won't be online. It will be here in 4 ways in Johannesburg. Gillian says Tinder is dirty. I agree. That's not me. I'm not I just need to make this clear with all this banter and talk. I'm not a wham bam one night stand kind of man. That's not me. I like relationships and I like to be in a relationship with people. I don't like to jump in, and that's not my thing. I get very scared if women try and pick me up. I get a fright and I run away. So I'm actually just a shy guy from Springs, which is yeah. I'm a shy guy. But dating over 50 is difficult, and maybe we'll run a show on that one of these days. Just the
fun.
Yeah, the complexities and challenges of dating over 50. As you start
to... There's one good thing.
Yes, what's that, Alistair?
There's one good thing about dating over 50. Yeah. You don't really have anything to do with their parents, do you?
Relief on Tonya's face. No. The older you go, the less of a parent's problem you have. That is true. So, Gillian says next week I'm on your show. All right, cool.
Yay!
Good.
Yay!
Give a round of applause for Gillian.
I'm glad. People have been asking me about the Suzuki. No, wait. When I start talking, you have to, especially when I'm doing the Suzuki ad. Hold on. People have been asking me about the new Suzuki Swift, and there have been a couple of comments online saying, Tom, how much can you get us a deal on a Suzuki Swift at Suzuki Rivonia, Suzuki Kyalami? And I'm like, yeah, sure, but I'll speak to Greg van Kerkhoven and the family and see what deal we can arrange for our followers and our listeners and our viewers and our friends. And Greg has put a deal together on the new Suzuki Swift.
Oh, wow.
You got to see this car.
Just for us?
It's the best-selling car in South Africa now, the Suzuki Swift. It's the GL Plus. It's the automatic. If you don't want a manual, it's the auto. And I'm going to present this offer to you from Suzuki Kyalami. This price, under 250 grand, you get South Africa's best-selling car in automatic with electric windows, air conditioning, climate control, infotainment, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, 6 Air. I can keep going on. No. But let me show you via Greg van Kerkhoven, rather, because he knows his cars better than I do. Here's Greg from Suzuki Kyalami, Suzuki Rivonia, with the latest offer for you as you watch the show.
It's Greg from Suzuki Rivonia and Suzuki Kyalami. And today I'm standing right next to the new iconic Suzuki Swift. It was just launched in November last year, and it's taken just 3 months for this Swift to do something that no other Suzuki model has ever been able to do in South Africa. In January 2025, the Suzuki Swift was South Africa's #1, top of the podium selling vehicle in the country. And we're talking about commercial vehicles as well as passenger vehicles. So without further ado, today I'm going to do a special for you on South Africa's #1 selling vehicle, the Suzuki Swift. Recently, we did a special on the mid-spec Suzuki Swift 1.2 GL Plus manual. It was very successful. So today we're going to do a special for those who get a little bit of a tired clutch foot, and we're going to do a special on the same spec but on the automatic version. So the Swift 1.2 GL Plus CVT automatic.
It's got everything you need. It comes with 6 airbags now. It comes with ESP, traction control. It's got ABS, EBD, brake assist. It comes standard with a factory fitted touchscreen radio with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. Controls for the radio are on the steering wheel. Controls for your Bluetooth are on the steering wheel. It's got a climate control, aircon. Comes standard with projector halogen lights now. Comes standard with 15-inch factory-fitted mag wheels, reverse park sensors, reverse camera. And what more do you need in a top-range vehicle? Never mind about a mid-spec Swift.
This Swift 1.2 GL Plus CVT automatic was launched at 259,900, which in this market and segment is one hell of a price, and I don't think you're going to beat it value for money. But today we are going to beat that, and we're going to do a special for you at 244,900. So that's 15,000 Rand off South Africa's #1 selling vehicle, passenger or commercial. Only and exclusive to Suzuki Rivonia and Suzuki Kyalami, your home of happy customers.
Yippity-doo-dah! You go speak to Greg Van Kerkhoven and any of the salespeople at Suzuki Kyalami or Suzuki Rivonia, the home of happy customers. They'll treat you right. They'll treat you better than you've ever been treated in your life. And they'll give you a special you can't get anywhere else. They are fantastic people. The F&I department's wonderful. You go speak to Amanda or you go speak to Catherine. And they've got assistants. They will help you. They will just guide you through everything. You need to test drive a car. They will test drive a car with you. They're the friendliest people, and they got the nicest cappuccino in Johannesburg for free. You just go there and you say, "Can I have a cappuccino, please?" Tom sent me, and they will make you a very frothy, lovely cappuccino. Good people. I like good people, and we're lucky on the show that we're able to have good advertisers like Vision by Design, who are our eyewear sponsor on the Tom London Show. They're an optometry practice with a special interest in pediatric vision care. If you've got a kid whose eyesight is shot, make sure you get them to Vision by Design. They also deal with myopia control and specialty contact lens fit-ins. Do you like that, if your kid's eyes are shot? Kids today, a lot of kids have got problems with their eyes and ears nowadays, I've noticed. So you've got to take them to
Mostly with their ears.
Mostly with, that's right, listening. Yeah.
Yes, they don't listen to it.
Alistair, you had one more thing you were going to tell us about the dating site?
Yeah, I asked a woman for her number the other night,
Yes.
and she said it was 140/95.
That's
Okay,
funny.
that was also quite good.
That is cute.
I'll let him have that.
That's cute. Shells Austin says, over 50, you have to worry about the kids, not the parents. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Yeah, that is the truth.
That's the truth. I tell you what a rare gem is. A 50-year-old lady without children and cats. That's a rare
And
gem.
cat.
Yes.
You're so
And no
rude.
cats.
It's
You're
what, opiates?
So
And no cats.
Oh, no cats. I thought you said she comes with opiates. She's a keeper.
Well, that could help too. Or painkillers.
Yes.
guys, it's going downhill very fast, very fast it's going downhill.
All right. Are
Sorry.
we all laughing and smiling? Margaret says, so glad we're laughing and smiling, Tom. That's great. Is everyone happy now? So that we can leave now and
Yeah,
come
I
back on
am.
Thursday. Our spirits are restored.
Thank you.
The show started off, I must apologize, the show started off very depressing. I'm surprised there's still people here. Thank you. And that wasn't supposed to happen. That was a mistake, drum roll. All right, Alistair again, Primrose Hill with his Alistairisms and more. Will join us again on Thursday. Thank you, Alistair. Have a lucky day, mate.
Yeah, you too, Tom. Thanks.
Thank you. And then down on the south, down in New Orleans, in the South Coast.
I'm actually up.
Oh, she's up on the south,
Up
up
in the
on the
north
north
coast.
coast, not the south
On the
coast. She's
north
up on the
coast.
north coast, Sadwana, where the sharks are and the sea is. You'll find Tonya Curry, who is very smart. She runs her company from the ocean side. Her company is called Acumen Media. If you've got a company, business, or brand, and you want to track what people are saying, thinking, or mentioning, or even feeling about you or your company, Tonya can do it with a. She's got big computers. They're like as big as a space
I've
shuttle.
got big
She'll do-
computers.
You can sleep and she will watch your brand for you. That's what she'll do. acumenmedia.net is where you'll find Tonya Curry. Okay, well, thank you very much. I think that's about it. We're about to talk.
Baby hearts.
We're about to talk about the ombudsman, says Tom Alex P. I think that might have been earlier. That's right. That's an earlier comment. See you next week, Tuesday or Thursday, says Julian. We still got the show on Thursday this week. What else have we got? Thanks for the laughs. Thank you, Helen. I hope we did that right. See you Thursday, says Anita. It's a date, 3 p.m. Hello from Scott Brewer. Cecilia van Burik is on board.
Oh,
And
hi.
someone says, hi, Suzuki Kailami. Please call me about the Swift special series. All right, Cynthia, I'll get one of their salespeople. I promise you, Cynthia Smith, I'll get someone to get hold of you now, soon. I'll message you. Look out for my message, please, on Messenger, and then send me your number. And I will make sure that a very good and maybe even the salesperson of the year will get hold of you. How's that? Like for the whole of South Africa.
Amazing.
We'll do that.
Amazing.
All right,
Home of
Laka.
happy customers.
Home of happy customers, Suzuki Kailami, Suzuki Rivonia. We thank them for sponsoring the show. It's thanks to them that we're able to do this twice a week, and we'll do it more in the future. Baby Hearts from Tonya Courier. She says goodbye from the North Coast. Baby Hearts from Alistair from Primrose Mountain in Germanistan. And from me, Tom London, it's Mama Gaga, the Stones. Oh no, it's Baby Hearts. Like that, maybe Baby Hearts. Baby Hearts for you, Baby Hearts for me, Baby Hearts for all of us. There's Baby Hearts going around everywhere. See, I do know how to dance. I'm a sexy beast. I don't know why I haven't got 3 girlfriends by now. Did I ever tell you I once had 2 girlfriends at the same time?
No.
And they knew
We'll
about
have to have that
we
story.
all lived in the same house. It was fantastic. Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm not going to mention their names. They get upset with me, probably. I haven't told you all my secrets, by the way. There's still more to come. Stay listening and watching the Tom London Show, because not only are we going to change lives, we're going to drop bombs. Truth bombs. I'll drop a truth bomb. You drop a truth bomb. Everybody drops a truth bomb. See you on Thursday, 3 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. I had a fun time with you and love you lots. Don't forget, if
Me
nobody
too.
loves you, if you
Ciao,
roll
ciao.
around this planet and you just think nobody loves me, Alistair Jameson, Tonya Courier, and Tom London love you. We love you long time,
We
not
do.
short time. We love you
long
long time. This show was brought to you by Suzuki Kailami.